welcome to The Woman in You. And today, the focus is on women as educators. We are in Marble Hill School. As you know, women these days not only go to school, women run schools, women build schools, and women teach in schools. And so we have come here to meet one of such women, and her story will inspire you greatly. Jowe-Asidi is my name, and I've got pride, I've got class. My womanhood is my pride. Welcome. Come along with me, and happy viewing. Yes, here we are with a woman with a large heart, full of compassion, love, and care for humanity. She has been in the education sector for years and has grown today to become the school administrator of Marble Hill School primary section. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we make welcome Obiageli Helen Jowe-Asidi. Welcome, ma'am.
My pleasure.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay, who is Obiageli Helen Jowe-Asidi?
Thank you. Obiageli Jowe-Asidi is from Onitsha in Anambra State, married to Dr. Kenneth Jowe-Asidi from Isoko, Delta State. I am the first of the family of 5, the Mose family. I attended Central School in Suka and continued my educational career. Secondary school, Inland Girls Secondary School, Onitsha. Proceeded to the College, Anambra State College of Education. And with the aid of a woman called late Mrs. Elizabeth Afulenu Edog, who will be buried on the 3rd of December. As time goes on, I will tell you more about her.
Okay, ma'am, thank you very much. Now let's look at life growing up. Let's take a flashback. Let's go down memory lane. Your early years in life, how was it like?
Wow, what an experience. Let me start from when we were growing up. My father was a civil servant in the Ministry of Health in Soka, and that was where I and my siblings had our early years. But after the creation of Enugu State and Anambra State, we had to come back to Anambra State, precisely my hometown, Onitsha. And I continued with my secondary education, like I mentioned, Inland Girls Secondary School. And after that, I graduated 1989, and there was nothing to do. Of course, family of 5, the eldest, I needed to do something to help out, to help myself. So a friend of mine by name Jowe told me that she worked in a school. I could come there and start a job, apply and start working as a nursery assistant. And I applied and was taken. I became a nursery assistant there, and I enjoyed the job because I learned so many things. I started catering for young children. My job as a nanny or nursery assistant, whatever you may call, was to make sure that children are attended to while the class teacher teaches. To, wash the napkins. These days, people are lucky they use Pampers. It was napkins those days. But what fateful day in a PTA meeting, a question was asked. And people were just wondering who is going to answer that question. I now raised my hands and was given the. In fact, when I raised my hand, my colleagues were saying, "Put down your. Who are you to talk?"
You nanny.
In a PTA
you
meeting.
that is a nanny.
You a nursery assistant.
Okay.
This is PTA.
Nursery assistant.
Yes, PTA. You want to talk? The proprietress of the school there, with noble people seated. You want to talk? I didn't give a damn. My hands were still up. And the proprietress now said, allow her to speak. And I spoke. I spoke on why some children disobey or don't keep to rules in the school. I mentioned home factor, and everybody was wow. And when I finished talking, the proprietress of the school now picked an interest and said, Helen, see me after this meeting. And you know what happened after the meeting? I met her in her office. The question she asked me, what are you doing here? I said, ma'am, I came to work, save money, and continue my education. He said, you don't have a place here. You really have to go to school because there's something upstairs. I said, ma'am, there's no money for me to go to school now. That's why I want to say. He said, no, I'm going to be paying you salary. I will register you in a school. When you have free period, you come and work and I pay you monthly. And she called her daughter who was in Anambra State College of Education in Sube, Obiamaka Edogu. She now bought a form for me. And that was how I got myself into school. Got the form for pre-NCE and I was given the privilege to study English, French. Wow. So that was, you want to know more?
Oh yeah, I want to know more.
And I entered, and having made a very good result during the pre-NCE, I was admitted to study English, French. Wow. And whenever I didn't have lectures, I had to go back to the school and I was given something to be doing. Sometimes I teach as an auxiliary teacher, and that was how this journey started. Yes. Wow. And along the line I had my NCE. And I started having little money because I had to engage students. I noticed that I fell in love with French because actually I was motivated by my French teacher during my secondary school days. So I decided to study French. So I was teaching pre-NCE students and year one students French, during the weekends, and they paid me.
That's and that money.
Yes. Then money had values. Okay. So that was how I did it all, and in my NCE, I had to come out because of that zeal to succeed. I was the best student in school of languages, wow. The best student in English, and best student in French. I had 3 trophies to my name.
Let me just clap for you.
Thank you.
Now, what were your dreams as a young girl? What was teaching part of the dream you had as a young girl?
Yes, I saw teaching in me because I remember when the teachers will conclude their lessons, I'll find myself in front of the classroom trying to regurgitate, trying to pass on what we have learned. And even when I would decide to keep back, what I'll be hearing, Helen Limose, come out and teach us. I will just, for the fun of it, we will be mimicking the teachers. And what do you want to be in life? I want to be a teacher. So that was why I followed my dream.
Wow. And today you are in the education sector.
Exactly.
That means you're living your dream.
Exactly.
So to say.
Exactly. Wow. I've been teaching for about 28 years.
Beautiful.
Or thereabout.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, and you're doing very well. We can see that.
Right.
Okay. Now, as a career woman, as it is, in building a career, you need to give time to that which you are doing.
Yeah.
Now you are a school administrator. That shows that you've really grown in the education sector, and you have a family you've built. How do you manage building this career, running this career, and building your home front, holding it together?
Wow. For this one, I give all kudos to my husband, Dr. Kenneth Jowe-Asidi. Because when you have a man that knows your dream and is willing to push you forth, it facilitates it. Why am I saying that? When I graduated from University of Nigeria in Nsukka, because I had to do 2 years because I had my NCE. Because of the good result, Nsukka gave me 2 years. So I now did 2 years in English language. So when I got
a bachelor's degree
in English, education English. So when I got married 2003, I had to leave my place of work because actually I had to work for that woman that put me through school for 13 years. So it was my marriage in 2003 that brought me to Delta State.
Beautiful. Okay, so this same woman took you through school up until final year in Nsukka?
Yeah, she was paying my salary. Whenever I had holiday, I had to come to work for her in the school.
Wow.
And she was paying me.
You were actually determined to achieve what your dreams were.
Yes, and she said one thing to me: always believe in your name, in your dream. Don't feel intimidated. I can do spirit. If you have it, don't depend on anyone. Pursue your dream. And that was how it worked.
And today you are here.
And today I am here. So when I now married my husband, he still saw the dream, and he helped me out, got a form. I started my master's, and but I served. When I got a job with my Marble Hill School, I call it my Marble Hill School because when I came to Delta State, I met a woman that had similar behavior with my mentor. That is Mrs. Henrietta Ifomo-Odume, the proprietress and the owner of Marble Hill School. The same dream, the same zeal, the same encouragement. So I was employed in 2003 in Marble Hill School, and when I was posted to serve in Delta State, I found my way to Marble Hill School, and that was where I continued grooming myself, teaching French in the school, and here am I today. So it has to do with planning, my dear. It has to do with planning the home front, keeping up with the balance. Your dream will not suffer. It has to do with the home front. The home is the priority. When everybody is happy, your dream will be achieved. You try to build a kind of equilibrium. When the man understands the fact that you are pursuing your dream and is ready to help, it works out. You plan the home. Always putting him at the forefront, telling him what you want to do, and getting his own contribution facilitates what I do today.
Okay. You know, some careers kind of will take you out of town, out of where you live, out of where your family is. Sometimes to have some kind of careers, you need to travel. What advice will you give to such women that find it difficult to want to balance career and family life?
That is what I am talking about. Planning. Planning. Always try to consider the home front. You have children, you should have to understand that the children have to go to school. The children have to eat.
If you have to travel.
If you have to travel, you prepare your home. Let nothing suffer. Your husband must eat while you're on tour. The children must eat. The home must be kept clean. You don't have any reason to say because you traveled and children are lacking, or your husband is also not being taken care of. So if you know you're going to travel, you just try to plan. You can cook and put in the fridge. You
for the
can
period you won't
for
be
the
around.
period you won't be around. You can get somebody to help you out with the school run. You can still get your family member to take care of the children while you're away. Create equilibrium and there won't be problem.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Okay, now as a woman, you are a school administrator. As a woman, a school administrator, because sometimes say it's a man's world. So when you find yourself in a position like this, have you ever had issues because you are a woman in charge of this place where you are today? Talking about gender inequality.
It has been from time immemorial. The kind of life we live in Africa is different from the Western world.
Definitely.
Yeah. There's this always, I don't know, cat and rat attitude when it comes to male folk and female folk. But we still have to understand that men are being given a place. For my husband, he will also tell you that it's an undisputable fact. I am the head.
Yes, that's true.
Do you understand? And it's a fact. So when you try to understand the man you have married, there's no need for loggerhead. You have to understand why men behave the way they do. And you try to be submissive. Make your man understand. Where there is issue is when, why do you want to do that? Why should you ask me? That's a problem already. But when you try to give reason, although we have difficult men, we do, but there are reasons why people behave the way they do.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, now outside the home, male-female issues should not even arise in a marriage because, of course, it's established.
Yes.
The man is the head.
Yes.
So it's a partnership kind of thing. As in, you come in, you work with the understanding that yes, he's in charge.
Yes.
They say he's the head, you are the neck.
Yes.
That's the way they put it.
Yes.
Okay, but outside the family, as in the society generally, some men see women as, it's like when you find, you come to an office, a woman is in charge. You get into this place, the bank manager is a woman. You come into this school, the school manager is a woman. It's like, I don't know if I should call it, there's this kind of, and okay, let me put it this way. Maybe there is a gathering or there's a meeting for all heads of the bankers or whatever, then the men always feel it's a man's world,
yeah, the ego
then if the
thing.
woman wants to talk, she's just a woman.
A woman,
What she's saying, she doesn't have a place here, They take authority everywhere. Have you ever had issues because you are in charge and this sits there, you say, because you are a woman? That's what we want to know.
Actually, we are the world is going, I don't know, the way it used to be. I think there's a kind of sensitization now.
Women are coming out right now.
Yes,
We know that.
yes. I've not really, I can't remember having such issues here. Maybe, I think because mostly women are the ones that do school runs.
Okay, let's assume because it's in the
maybe in my own scenario,
in my
own school setting. Yes.
Okay, let's agree to that. What other challenges have you been through in life?
Life is filled with lots of experiences, both good and bad ones. But I noticed that after those challenges I had during growing up in the school setting, coming out after I married my husband is like a different world. A helper had come. Are you getting it? It wasn't as bad as it used to. Are you getting it? I started having a different view of life because Now I can see somebody that will say every month, this is for you. Are you getting it? And taking care of other life challenges. But the major one was the inability to have children on time. The biggest of all the challenges. You know, I married 2003. It took me how many years? About 5 years before I could have a child. That was a very big challenge. But with what I've been hearing of the, the way family members will be treating you, especially your husband's people, I didn't have them.
You're quite lucky.
I didn't have them.
Okay.
Nobody disturbed me of not having children. And to talk more of it, I am from Onitsha, Igbo,
Yes.
married to an Isoko man.
Wow.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
And when I was about getting married, I remember they were saying, are you going? Isoko people, they marry 7 wives, they marry 5 wives and all that. They fear, they were saying 5 wives, 7,
Can you
10.
cope?
Will you be able to cope? But my marriage we are heading 20 years.
Wow.
And during those times, I noticed that it was even my mates, my husband's brother's wife, that was giving me the courage, the encouragement. And in 2008, I had my daughter, and she was the one that gave my daughter name.
Wow.
And gave her Edereveno. The way has opened.
Beautiful.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
In 2010, I had my son, and she gave him Efezino. Wealth has come. So I'm now having another view of life. That sometimes when people discourage you and you forge ahead to doing what your mind says you should do, you find out that it may not be the story they have told you.
And others have told.
Yes, that others have told. So
we thank God for that.
Yeah,
challenge. You beat that as well. That challenge.
and with the support of the man too.
By your side.
When you
That's true.
when you have a man that supports you even during the bad times and encourages you, then you don't have any need of
worry.
Drinking what they call amlodipine for high BP. Yes,
That's it. Now let's look at women in society. We know these days, let's take Delta State for example. His Excellency the Governor is doing so well now.
So very well.
Assigning women
So very well.
in Delta State.
Yeah.
Women are being placed in positions of authority here in Delta State. So, but looking outside Delta State, we're in Nigeria right now. Let's look generally. What do you think can be done to place more women in positions of authority? These days we've got women that are well educated, well enlightened. Women go to school very well these days now, So like I said, women run schools, women build schools, women teach in schools. Women are in every sector of the society. If you go to, is it the banking sector? Is it in engineering? Is it in medicine? Is it in, check out the Nigerian Bar Association. Women are everywhere lawyers. So, but you see, we find that engineers, we find that the society has not helped more women to come out. What do you think can be done to place more women in positions of authority?
We still have to be crying out. We still have to be crying out because I'm sure it's working. Yeah. Women are not taking any chances anymore.
Yeah. Are
you getting me? And the men folk, they're beginning to understand too. Like I told you, things are already changing. Look at what the governor's wife, Edith Okowa, is doing. And, enlightenment. Women are coming out. Some of them that had been housewives, they're getting themselves occupied. No woman wants to stay at home now. Are you getting it?
Yes.
It's working out. Orientation, seminars, workshop. It helps. You know what? Because women are doing well, tremendously well. Like I told you, I In this my career, I enjoyed it a lot. The governor's wife's son, Precious Okowa, was in my class those years.
Wow.
And today, I am happy. He's a grown man. Just last week. So our dreams should be followed.
Okay.
No matter there must be problems on the way. There must be obstacles.
Yes.
There must be hitches.
Yes.
But no matter the impediment, try and forge ahead. Follow your dream.
Yeah. Yes, that's what we're talking about here. Let's encourage a girl child. Train the girl child. You build a nation. Now, we're still talking to Obiageli Helen Jowe-Asidi here. So let's look at womanhood again. I keep saying that my womanhood is my pride. But unfortunately, a lot of our women, some of our women, young girls, ladies, have they don't pride themselves in their womanhood. Some of them are ready to sell the pride for peanuts. And they don't believe, or they don't have that confidence that they can make it on their own. You know, doing a lot of things. Someone said they call themselves the working fingers. I had a lady that called herself working fingers. She said that name came because with your fingers you can do a lot of things.
Yes.
But then we have a lot of ladies that they don't have confidence in themselves and they want to oh no, the easiest way out. They sell their pride. If you've got a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes opportunity to speak to ladies like that, what will you tell them? How do you think we as women can change that mindset of theirs? Because I believe it's a mindset thing.
It's a mindset thing. Like I used to tell people that training starts from the home. Training starts from the home. Women of this generation, especially our younger girls, should remember where they're coming from. I remember those days when we were growing up. My late father will always tell us that the moment is 6 p.m., you must be at home. And we never disobeyed. When you come back after 6 p.m., you have to explain why. But children of these days, ladies of these days, they can go out whenever they want. And when they are even being asked, where are you coming from? You will see confrontation. I remember one time my father said, why did you come back 10 minutes past 6 p.m.? You will go back to where you're coming from. I started crying, calling neighbors to come and plead that I should be allowed inside. Try it this time. If you try it this age and tell a child that you should go back to where you're coming from,
freedom.
You will not see that child again. You will be the one to go to the police station for them to help you look for your child. That is the era we are now. There's what we call dignity. The motto of my alumni, University of Nigeria, is to restore the dignity of man. We can restore the dignity of women. We are not cheap. We shouldn't be cheap. Find something doing. You can find something. You don't have any reason. There is no tangible reason. There is no justifiable reason for us to sell ourselves. It starts from the home. The church has a role to play, and the society also has a bigger role to play, because it's like we are in a competitive society.
Yeah, same.
I want to be this, I want to be that, comparing. I cannot be you, you cannot be me. We are not in competition. You cut your coat according to your cloth. That is what we should be doing. for us to restore the dignity of women, they should get themselves occupied. Orientation, seminars, workshops. Some will tell you that I didn't have someone to train me in school. If you didn't have somebody to train you, you train yourself.
Okay, that brings me now to ask, to tell you, just yesterday, I went to an occasion to MC where you have young students involved. It has to do with insecurity issues, cultism issues, and all of that. So they brought in some students, and we had the commandants, correctional service. We had the CP in there. We had the NSC, the NSCDC people, so security officials there, and we also had Her Royal Highness, the Omo of Anioma, there as well. So you could see personalities that were there. I answered that question. After the lectures and talks and everything, there was a question and answer section. A young girl came up, very young girl, she'd be in her 20s, and she picked up the mic, and she was directing a question directly at the Omo, and she said, okay, well, they've talked about a lot, trying to tell them, the young ones, how to really live this life to achieve, and all of them, and shun cultism, shun banditry. It's not the best way to go. Live a good life, and talk about insecurity issues as well. And they've talked about education as well. That now, a lot of their mates, she was just like, I think she's just like, a lot of their mates are out there doing some kind of things that they don't want to do it, but who will train them? They don't have anybody to send them to school. They don't have money to go to school. All of us believe today that education is so expensive in Nigeria. That was her statement.
Wow.
So how are they going to do it? Such children, they do what they are doing because education is very expensive in Nigeria. How can they go to school? When
Seriously?
they responded to her question, at the end of the day, the students themselves were the ones clapping and clapping and clapping.
You know that I mentioned that we are 4 girls and a male child. I have a brother. But you know that my siblings follow suit. All of them had to, train themselves.
You showed them the way.
My younger sister had 2 masters.
Wow.
Tell me with whom you go, I will tell you what you are. Yes. Legacy, who is your mentor? Okay. What do you want to be? If you first of all know what you want to be, then you do what?
You pursue.
You pursue your dream.
Okay, yes, that's true. And I picked something from yesterday. I said it's the way forward. And what you have to do is education. And education. And still education. It's just education, all the way.
All the way. All the way. Because when you have it, never will you have complex. Inferiority complex will not come in.
I think that's a problem amongst women as well. Now let's look at the issue of women not supporting women. They pull her down syndrome, as they call it. What will you have to say to that? Why do women hate supporting women?
Okay. Most women.
Okay, most
not
women.
All.
Not all women, yes.
There's this competitive scenario that we normally bring out. Women, I don't want you to be like me. Are you getting me? This I am better off syndrome. Most women exhibit such attitude or mannerism. You know what? You see your beautiful dress, I like the dress, and I want to have one. And I will say, oh, Joy, I like this your dress. Who made it? You know who made it is in Asaba. You will tell me, no, it was sent from Canada. Are you getting it? Because you don't want me to have it. It's there. Some of it is innate. Some innate behavior that we exhibit. But some will say, oh, you want it? I will take you to my tailor. Are you getting it? It's the same everywhere. Nobody wants you to have what she has. It's like that. Is is a cankerworm. Let me call it cankerworm. What will it take if I show you the way? If I show you what I do to succeed, we will have a better world, isn't it?
Yes.
If I teach you how to fish, you will not have to bother me anymore.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong helping your fellow women, telling them how you run your home. I'm not talking how you run your home negatively. How you run your home for you to succeed. The things you do that can build the home. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong helping to teach others the skills you've already learned. Many people don't like teaching others because they have this fear that if I teach you, you will be better than me. This competitive attitude. And it's not working. Or they will run you down. Somebody may even want to patronize the other one. Your fellow woman will run you down. But to be frank, I saw that long time ago. All through my lifetime, I find it comfortable dealing with men, boys, than, I wouldn't say I was a tomboy, you can call it that, but you see, men, they don't have this cantankerous or bickering attitude like women. Sorry to say that. Do you understand? I usually found myself comfortable relating with, because you see them, they're focused. Women sometimes bitterness, jealousy, envy, and other. Not all, but most women.
So we should actually let go of bitterness.
Let go of bitterness, rancor, and all that. It will help.
It will help us a lot as a woman. Okay, let's take a look at. Let's get to know some of the women that have inspired you in life, as you have all through life, rather. Some of the women that have actually inspired you in life, impacted into your life, and how they did inspire you. Let's get to know.
Oh, let me start with my dear mother, Mrs. Nkiru Christiana Mozi, my beloved mother. My mother attended a convent school, and my mother told me how she met my father after the war in 1970, and they got married and gave birth to me in 1971. My mother, I grew up to find out that my mother was a workaholic. My mother, she never waited for my father to do the things she ought to do in the family. And that spoiled me. My mother came back with us while my father was still in Nsukka. My father was sending money, and my mother was building my father's house.
Wow.
She finished the building, my father came back, and we all lived in that house. So, and she taught us to be independent. And that was why, when it was not ready for me to go back to the university, I decided to go and work. My mother taught us how to learn from people. My father studied English, Latin. I studied English, French. And my mother taught us one thing: once we want to learn grammar or vocabulary, we have to do something to make my father upset, and my father will start.
Begin to speak.
And my mother will be writing. Will be writing. Are you getting me?
I get you.
You know, motivated me, and all through that. After that, after my mother, who tried to put us together as a family, the family bond. That's one thing about my mother. We cannot stay any day without communicating. The sibling bond, togetherness. We are 4 girls. When my mother was giving birth to girls, like the topic we are having, they were mocking her. The first girl, the second girl, the third girl. And my mother was pregnant of the 4th. She was afraid. And when my mother went to the hospital, she still gave birth to a baby girl. And when people were talking, she gave that girl Nwanyi Bife. Nwanyi Bife means a woman is also a child. Are you getting it? Yeah. Then my mother got pregnant for the fifth child, and they were expecting to see a girl. Yes, and my mother in Akule's hospital gave birth, and when they saw that it was a baby boy was announced, my father jumped down from 2-story building.
Say it again.
In all excitement, for you to know what women are passing through. Excitement of a male child. He jumped. He was not hurt.
He was not injured.
He was not injured. He ran. I've got a baby boy, a baby boy, a baby boy. You see that?
Africa.
But today, Africa, my Africa. Africa, my Africa. And that is it. Then I now got entangled with my mentor, Mrs. Elizabeth Afulenu Edogu. She taught me how to always regurgitate and mention my name. If you mention your name, she will always say, I, Elizabeth Afulenu Edogu, I will make it. So I can do it. So I've always been saying, I, Obiageli Jowe-Asidi, I can make it. Are you getting it? And when I have succeeded with my career in life, I still came down to Delta State to meet an amazing woman, an angel, Mrs. Henrietta Ifomo Dume, an angel. I now saw that this is another woman, calm-looking woman that has interest in training the less privileged.
As a woman, there's a lot you can achieve. Don't limit yourself. First and foremost, majorly, have that confidence in yourself, because of course, confidence is one thing you should wear whenever you are going out.
Yeah.
After dressing, it completes your dressing
Oh.
as a woman. Okay.
And Joy, you have this, she has this motto that says, if I try and I don't succeed, I'll try and try again.
Thank you so much. I like that line. Yes. If you try once, go try again. So the motto is, if you knocked once and they didn't answer you, you didn't get an answer, you go back and knock again. Knock a third time, knock a fourth time. Just keep knocking. And of course, it can come to pass.
Exactly.
And your dreams will be fulfilled.
Wow.
And you have testimonies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Obiageli Helen Jowe-Asidi, we
honored.
appreciate you coming to speak with us. But just before we let you go, we'd like a word of advice for our young women out there and our girls.
All I have to say is, follow your dream. What do you want to become? Pursue it. Pursue it. What do you want to become? You have to have a career. There must be something you are good at. You are talented. There must be something you can do. And God will help you to fulfill your dream. There's what we call destiny helpers. Pray that God will help you out to pursue your dream. And don't stay idle. Don't stay idle. Look for something to do. Start up. Start up with the little you have. And I promise you that when you start up, that God is going to send you helpers of your destiny. Don't relent. Always try to understand the fact that you must hold on. Hold on. Be patient and you will make it in life.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, I've been speaking with Helen Obiageli Jowe-Asidi. You have heard his story, and now you know Rome was not built in a day. So just go on, get a dream, have a vision, pursue it, and believing in yourself, make sure it comes to pass. You will have a story to tell like this someday to inspire and encourage other women out there. Thank you so much for being with us. My womanhood is my pride. So keep believing. With you as a woman, you can make it in life. Jowe-Asidi is my name. And know it that I've got pride, I've got passion, and I've class, I'm special. I'll see you next week. Thank you.